Alright, so today's transformation is going to be rotation. So our topic is rotations. And these are notes for 9-3. So you've got a picture of what a rotation looks like. So this would be our original figure, and we are rotating this figure about a particular point. For your purposes, we're going to be rotating about the origin. As you get into higher level courses like Algebra 3, 4, and some other courses, you'll rotate about a different point than the origin. It's easier to rotate about the origin than it is another point. And so as you can see, if you look at from B to B prime, if you drew an angle from here to here, so this would be one side of the angle, and from here to here, that would represent your degree of rotation. So from here all the way to here makes that degree of rotation. And we're only going to concentrate on degrees of rotation that are 90, 180, and 270. Because what would be a 360 degree rotation? Yeah, it'd be a whole circle, and it wouldn't look any different, would it? You're just taking a figure, rotating around the origin, an entire circle, and it ends up in the same place that it started at. So we don't do 360. And it makes a difference whether we're rotating counterclockwise versus clockwise. So we're going to do it counterclockwise today. And then we can talk about clockwise on another day. We can always convert things. Well, we'll talk about it when we get to them. All right, so the untechnical term for rotation is a turn around a fixed point called the center of rotation. The figure rotates at a specific angle, bless you, and direction. So our direction is counterclockwise. That means against the clock. So that means we're rotating to the left because clock hands go to the right. So we're going to always rotate towards the left. And you can see that happening here. This is a counterclockwise rotation from here to here. All right, so write down your rules, and you're going to write yourself a note. You are going to study. All right, so here they go. Rule 1. For 90 degrees, you're going to take every ordered pair. So we are going to rely on the math for rotations. So every ordered pair, Allie, if you need to like move your seat, or because I can't make it go up higher or anything, sorry. We're going to switch the x and the y, and the y becomes negative. How I remember that is if you look at this picture, so if we start here and I rotate 90 degrees, that's one click to the left. So if you look at what's happening from A, is that A? No, there's O. Let's go from B. So from B to B, if I drew a line from here to here and from here to here, it would make a right angle. Do you see that? And I'm going to the left, one click. What axis do I cross when I go to the left? The y-axis. That's how I remember, oh, y changes sign. It doesn't matter what quadrant your figure starts in. Just think of your figure always starting in the first quadrant when you're trying to memorize these rules. And as you rotate left 90 degrees, you're crossing that y-axis. And so the y is going to change signs. When we rotate, the x and y have to change places. It's kind of similar to the reflection over y equals x, except your only one thing changes sign, and in y equals x, nothing changes signs. All right, so there's that one. Then for 180 degrees, you're going to start with your original ordered pair, and it's going to map onto just a negative x, negative y. So your x and your y are not going to change places, but we are changing signs. So to rotate 180 degrees, all you do is change the signs of your x and y. Nothing changes places. So you've got to study these, otherwise how are you going to know? I'd put them on flashcards until you memorize them. You've got over a week to study them. Do a little bit of studying over spring break. You can do it.
So will we test this week?
No, it's going to be after spring break. I don't want to try to squeeze in a test and you guys not be ready for it. All right, so then our last rule. Oh, pretty color. Okay, maybe not a pretty color. So No, that's boring. I'm going to do brown. Gee, how unboring is brown? So if we're going to rotate 270 degrees, we're going to once again change our x and our y, but this time the x changes signs. And the only way I can kind of help you understand that is, all right, so we are rotating from here all the way around here to here. That's technically because we're going counterclockwise. But if you didn't go counterclockwise and you just went from here to here, you just think what the picture does, what axis are you crossing? From here to here. X. And so technically a 270 degree rotation accomplishes the same thing as a 90 degree clockwise rotation, doesn't it? So that's one of the things I was saying, well, we could counteract a clockwise rotation by thinking backwards, but if we have to do that, we'll come to it. All right, so using those rules, have them handy, we're going to do a few of the following problems. So let's look at number 1. So draw your pre-image. So let's put in our ordered pairs. So many sniffles today. All right, so you connect with a straight edge. I cannot up here. So there's your original. So this time we're relying on our math. So if we are rotating 90 degrees counterclockwise against the clock, what happens to our x and our y? Remember, that means we're crossing the y-axis as we move counterclockwise. So what happens to our x and y? Look at your rules. They switch places, and what sign changes? The y. So all I'm going to do is look at the first thing here. If they switch places, this is going to become my x value, and it was the y, it changes sign. So as I move the 7 into the x position, I'm changing its sign at the same time. So my ordered pair for A becomes -7, +2. Let's just plot that point and see and kind of look at the angle between A and A prime. So plot the ordered pair -7, +2. So let's just take your straight edge. I can't take a straight edge, but I want you to draw a straight line from A to the origin. I'm going to make kind of a dashed line here. Whoops, it's really hard on here. There we go. Maybe. And then a straight line from A prime to the origin. What kind of angle is created? 90. So you can kind of check your work and see if that worked. If you drew a straight edge from here to the origin, from here to origin, it should make a 90-degree angle, which it does. So that works. So let's do that for all the other points. So for B, what's your ordered pair for B going to be? -5, +6. And so plot that. And then what is your ordered pair going to be for C? -1, +4. Wow, that's really hard for me to see, but I think I hit it. So there's your C prime. And now connect those, and there's your rotated figure. Bless you. So then we're going to look at number 2. So let's go ahead and plot our original figure. And you're connecting with a straight edge, unlike me. So 180 degree turn, and notice that they don't give you a direction with 180 degrees because it doesn't matter whether I go clockwise or counterclockwise with 180. A half turn is a half turn. So they're never going to give you a direction with those. So what's the rule for 180 degrees? What am I going to do to this ordered pair? Yeah, you're not switching anything, you're just changing the signs. So 2, 6 becomes -2, -6. And 6, 5 becomes -6, -5. 5, 1 becomes -5, -1. And 1, 2 becomes -1, -2. So these all happen to be negative because they all happen to start out positive. So we're not just making them all negative. All right, so let's plot P prime. So -2, -6 would be here, and then this is P prime. You ought to be able to take and connect P to P prime and draw a line straight through the origin that would be a straight line. So take your straight edge and see, does P, the origin, and P prime line up? Yes or no? Because 180 degrees is a straight line. Don't they line up? Okay. So then go ahead and plot your other points. Q is -6, -5. Q prime, sorry. R prime is -5, -1. And then S prime is -1, -2. And connect. So as long as you know your rules, rotating is easy. As long as you know your rules. When you don't know your rules, it's going to be hard to rotate. All right, so then I want you to do number 3. So we're going to do number 3. So let's go ahead and plot the original trapezoid. So connect that with a straight edge, and you should have a beautiful trapezoid. And then we're going to go 270 degrees counterclockwise. Well, 270 degrees counterclockwise is going to go all the way around to here. To help you remember the rule, typically, if we started in quadrant 1, whether or not you do, 270 degrees would put us over here somewhere in quadrant 4. So we're crossing the x-axis. So if you look at your rule, the x and the y change, but the x changes signs this time. So the 270 and the 90 are nearly identical, but with the 90 degree rotation we change our y. With the 270 degree rotation you change your x sign. So we're going to look at our ordered pairs. What's the ordered pair for J prime going to be? Yeah, so since 3 changes signs, you're going to move it over here to the y and change its sign, so it becomes 4, -3. And if we plot that, here's J prime. If I connected a line from the origin to J, and from the origin to J prime. Doesn't this look like a 90 degree angle here? Right? So if that's 90, then from here to here is the 270 degree rotation. So it does work. So we're going to finish off our other ordered pairs. What's the ordered pair for K prime going to be? What is it? You have to change the 4. The x changes. So we want to make it -4, +6. Say that again? I can't hear you. Oh, thanks. Yeah, you're right. There we go. So our 6 changes signs. You're right. So 4, -6. Sorry. Would we have noticed that when we plotted it? One would hope, because you always want to check your first point, make sure that you plotted it correctly, which is what we've done in all of them. What we've done on all of those. So then plot that. That gets us right here. And then talk about L prime and M prime in your table groups. What are those going to be? Chat, chat, chat. All right, so stop. What is L prime going to be? What is it? 1, -8. And what is M going to be? 1, -1. Good. So 1, -8 puts us here. And that is our L prime. And 1, -1 puts us here. And that is our M prime. And then connect your points with a straight edge. Shade in your final answers. And there we go. And that's really all. I mean, you can flip the page and look if you want to, but they're all kind of the same thing. You're either doing 90, 270, 180. So I'm going to leave those for you to do for extra practice, should you care to. But it's all just using those same rules. So we're going to do a little foldable here to kind of help you and see if you can do them on your own. All right?